The internet has become a ubiquitous part of life and most of us can't imagine being without it. For schools, it's become an essential study tool, with much of the curriculum being delivered online. But thousands of Australian children are being left behind because their families can't afford to access the web. Donna reports.
It's homework time at the Davis place in Logan, south of Brisbane.
Hey kids! Who needs help with homework?
It's strictly pencils and paper for these kids, with the internet considered a luxury item for this big family.
Just with the cost and just the affordability, it's not in our budget to have that at the moment.
Jean Davis knows it puts her 8 children at a disadvantage. Much of their schoolwork is online.
It's very detrimental actually, because it's just taken for granted that every family, every household has that internet access, and not every household, not every child does.
It definitely makes things difficult. I mean, it'll be much more convenient to have, Wi-Fi or internet, broadband at home. That way I don't have to, constantly go back and forth between the library and home.
Eldest child Sean hasn't let the challenges stop him. He was elected school captain in his final year of high school.
Most of my family members haven't completed grade 12. I don't think I could actually think of any that have. And to basically see me go through it, they felt like they were doing it as well.
Internet access is something most of us take for granted. 83% of the country is connected at home. But that figure hides the extent of the digital divide. In disadvantaged communities, net access isn't a given. 1/3 of homes are offline. Dr Scott Ewing from Melbourne's Swinburne Institute is an expert on the subject.
If it's a choice of food or the internet, then obviously food's going to win.
He says as connectivity has grown in Australia, the isolation for those without internet has been exacerbated.
So if you're a child without those resources, that's a clear difficulty.
The Smith Family Charity tries to bridge the gap, providing tech packs, including refurbished computers and a year's internet access to kids in need. But they can't keep up with demand.
If we have 1 in 3 kids in our poorest community who do not have access to essential tools for learning, the implications for that obviously are significant for that family and that child, but it's significant for us as a nation.
The charity is working with net providers and governments to narrow the divide.
We need a whole of system change here. If we're going to address this issue of a digital divide, we need to really, be thinking on a large scale.
Teachers agree, saying it's a critical issue when so much of the curriculum is online.
In the broadest sense, students should not be disadvantaged because their family is unable to provide access to the internet or a computer.
The federal government says it's addressing the divide, spending to ensure more digital technology in schools. But that doesn't connect people like the Davis family. 18-year-old Sean is preparing to study teaching at university, where he'll face the same challenges.
It'd be great to, live on a mansion on the beach and have all that you want, but at the end of the day, if you can make someone else feel better about themselves or happy, and what's better than that?
Not all lessons are learned online. Donna, ABC News.